is the pressure in the tank, which is 1 atmosphere. So gauge pressure is 0. Thank you. Okay, so in B, we were asked for a mass flow rate. Okay? Now, this pressure, right, since we have they keep filling from the tank, right? Which means that whatever goes into the pipe, there is still going to be a same pressure, because the tank truck is pumping the liquid into this. So even when the hole opens up, that pressure will not change. So this is now a flow of liquid through a hole. Okay. And we have our QM is equal to area of the hole, our C naught times 2 rho GC EG. And just right, you put in the absolute pressure here, you got dinged pretty hard. Okay? And in terms of number of points off. So to keep track of that, that is gauge pressure. And it's gauged because that's how we determine that equation. Okay, so QM is equal to, we have the area of the hole, it was 1 centimeter, right? So we have 1 centimeter minus 2 over 2 squared times pi. Times 2 pi times C naught to 866 kilograms per cubic meters, or GC 1.0 kilogram meter second square and newton, and our gauge pressure is 1.067, right, times 10 to the 3 Newton per square meter.
What's C naught for best and worst case?
C naught, yes. What is C naught in our case?
0.61 for worst case scenario?
0.61. Why would you choose 0.61 in this case? Because I don't want you to just throw that in there. Because it's rust. This is the furthest from a smooth hole you probably can get, right? So 0.61 is going to be the most realistic number to use. And I want you to state that, right? I want you to justify that. So QM is equal to C naught times 0.1068. And that is kilograms per second. Okay? C naught is equal to 6.1. Okay? Hole due to rust. Okay? Not smooth, in other words. And that gives us QM is equal to 0.065 kilograms per second, or 230 kilograms per hour. Any questions? Nope. Crystal clear? Okay, I'm gonna pull down the projector again. So that was problem number 1. Problem number 2. Okay, so that's what those two problems on this particular exam. So we have a toluene that's leaking from this hole, so it's the same problem, it's the same tank, okay? But it's caught between the walls of nearby buildings and form an approximately rectangular pool of liquid, 3 by 4 meters in size. Okay, if the hole forms at the beginning of the filling process, and the size of the pool is roughly constant during the filling, you're asked that the truck driver who is in the vicinity of the leak during the entire 4-hour filling process will be overexposed. Since the transfer is done outside, you can assume good ventilation quality at a rate of 3,000 cubic feet per minute. And note here too that the local exhaust is too far from the leak, right? It's connected to the tank, not the hole. So that will not have any effect. It will not remove anything, in other words. And then you're asked that or you're told that the outside temperature is 90 degrees Fahrenheit and it's a sunny day. So you may assume that a heat transfer from surroundings is fast. Why do you think I put that on there?
Evaporation rate?
So that the evaporation rate stays constant. Okay. Otherwise, as you evaporate liquid from the pool, it's going to decrease the temperature of the liquid. Okay. The sun's shining on it, we're just going to assume that it's constant. Okay. Clearly a ventilation calculation, right? Okay. And the only snag is I didn't tell you how there were a number of students that couldn't convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. I think I've said this enough times now, so I can give you the temperature in Celsius, right? You can do the conversion, right?
Celsius.
All right, so this is problem 2, same exam, okay? So we need to calculate the evaporation rate. And B set or TL. Okay, now, so you use this equation. There's always this risk that you take the QM that you calculated in B. What is the problem with that?
You might get it wrong from B.
You might be wrong from B, yes. That's true too. But what is that QM? That is mass flow rate of liquid coming out of the hole. This is evaporation rate. This is, so you have two, so, okay, you have, it's going into this pool of liquid that's roughly rectangular. This QM here, QM liquid, is what's coming out of the hole. This QM is what you need to calculate the concentration, okay?
As long as the size of the pool stays the same, you can see what they're saying.
You see the constant.
Can you? If QM liquid comes out here, the size of the pool, does that have anything to do with, do they have anything to do with each other? They're completely different, right? This is a liquid. So what's happening is this is probably, right, in terms of mass, this is gonna be way higher than this. So what is this gonna do? It's gonna raise the liquid in here, right? That's why I said it's roughly constant and it's caught between buildings. Really, what I probably should have said is caught in a dike. So it's just that the height of the liquid in that dike is gonna increase. It doesn't, right? The evaporation rate does not, as long as this is enough to completely fill the pool. Okay, so there is a problem in chapter 4 where they're asking you to calculate the liquid flow rate that will result in complete, right, coverage, that will completely cover this. So in other words, in this case, you were asked to calculate the liquid flow rate that would equal the vapor flow rate. In that case, it completely covers it and you're at a steady state, okay? And that QMV was equal to 0.56 kilograms per second, or whatever the unit was, I can't remember, they might have been grams. It might have been grams per second, let's just assume that, okay? And then in B, they gave you that QM liquid is equal to 1.0, whatever same units, call it grams per second, to try to trick you, right? Because what QM you needed to use in the problem is still this, because that's your evaporation rate, okay? Is everyone with me on that? Okay, what we need, which is why I wish the authors of the book had separated, right, so that they would have put QM vapor, right, and QM liquid for the other ones. We just have to keep them separate, even though they're the same, right, the same notation. They're both mass flow rates, right, so it's just in one case, it's actually a vapor flow rate, right, versus the other one is a liquid. Now, you could bypass this completely by just using this equation, because this is what you're asked for, right? So you just use this, and there's not an issue. Okay, and again, what we have assumed is that T liquid is the same as T ambient, right? Which we already said, I've worded the problem so that you would know that that was the case.
This QV is key ventilation.
So this is QV ventilation, right? That's why I put in the other problem, I put FV, just to make sure we're not, right, as the volumetric flow rate. This is the volumetric flow rate, but it was given as 3,000 cubic feet per minute, and that is equal to 1.146. Cubic meters per second. Okay, what else do we need? We need K. This is K naught, molecular weight of our water, molecular weight over 1/3. Can't remember if I gave you the molecular weight of toluene in this case, but if not, it's in one of the tables in the back of the book. Okay, so this would be 0.83 centimeters per second, 180152 over 92.13, 1/3. That is 4.818 meters per second.
I thought that CPPM formula had like a fee.
Had a what?
A fee. 5.
Aha, very good observation. So what did I just do? And look at the problem. Is what I just did a good approximation?
Use 1.
So here's what I had intended for the problem to be, right? Which is an evaporation problem. However, it is a filling operation, right? So you will also have a volumetric term that all the liquid that comes out is going to displace gas, right? That is, it's clearly, it's a leak, so it's going to be a splash filling. So you're absolutely right. This is, and most students did this. Some students asked if they wanted me to take the filling into account, and that's not, I did not intend to do that. I intended for it to just to be a filling, an evaporation problem. But you're absolutely right. that you have two terms. This term, right, is the evaporation, and then this term. And then you have your RF, let me see, VC, that. Okay? That is going to be, that's where you would use your QM. Okay, so I haven't done that calculation in my notes. But that would be added to this, okay?
So would you just tell us to, like, in the
I
problem,
would
would you say
be-
account for filling?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would be more specific on that. When I worded the problem, I didn't think of that term, so, right?
I'm confused.
So.
Why are you taking it out?
So, I intended for this problem to be evaporation only, okay? But you will have, it is like because I said it is a filling operation. He's filling it for 4 hours, which means it's gonna leak for 4 hours as well, right? So, let me see, what did I say? If the whole fill forms in the beginning of the filling process, right? The size of the pool is roughly constant, right? So my intent was, it's outside, we're not gonna be worrying about the filling term. But that's not entirely accurate. Okay, so you're right, and let me see what the equation is, because I don't have it. The most correct way to do this would be to have PSAT over AQB KA plus RFVC, right? Where your RFVC would be equal to your QM times that mass per over rho. Okay, that's your volumetric, that is your displacement term. So you can go in and see, and then your phi here would be 0.1 because it would be a splash filling. Okay, that got more complex than I had intended it to be, right? Like I said, it's hard to, I had one thing in mind when I wrote the problem and then forgot to add enough detail, right? So there should have been, I should have added that here so to not to confuse you. Neglect the filling term, okay? Because it was intended to be a evaporation term only.
Oh, I see it now.
Alright, is everyone with me on that? So basically, I'm telling you, disregard this term, which is not a very good, this one is sometimes a lot larger than this one, okay? So it's not the right thing to do, okay? So anytime you have a filling operation, you need to look at the filling term also, okay? But this was supposed to be an exercise in evaporation. That was the intent. Okay, so what do we need? We have the area of the pool, that's 3 by 4. The molecular weight, liquid, okay, we need this one. So we have the QB, ambient, pressure, 1 atmosphere, so we need PSAT. Okay, so you need to, I did not tell you, okay, where that was. Okay, so you just need, that's Appendix E. So LMPSAT is equal to A minus BC plus T. T was 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and that is, if you converted 305.37 Kelvin, and our PSAT at these conditions is equal to 40.910 millimeter mercury.
You said this was appendix G, so this is.
Appendix E.